So in this episode, we go from the C6 to the C7. We're going to take this thing for a test drive, and we're going to actually see how much different this car is compared to the C6 and the upcoming C8, which is a dramatic change from the past. So with Corvette finally going mid-engine. So that's what we're going to do today right here on Life Off-Road. I'm your host, Jay Walker. You're watching J-Dub Motorsports.
Hot when you thought I wasn't. Was cool with my ex though. Now I'm dating a cousin. We loving. She headstrong. I'm dead wrong, but it feels right. College days, my drinking days. Still be running them red lights.
Now you want to stop.
Chrome, loyalty will build a home. Bands that make her dance, but them stacks that make her leave home. I know you feel like you wanna come home. I know you liking what you see. I'm gonna make you fall in love.
As we go over the car here, like I said, this is the 7th generation C7. So, you know, one of the first things you notice is the big air damp that's in the front of the car, which goes through the radiator outside the hood extractor coming over the hood. So it lets all that hot air out and gets over the car, so it drastically keeps the car cool. The coupes come with the air ducts and the C-pillars back in the back to cool the transmission. A lot of people think those ducts are for the rear brakes. They're actually not. They're actually to keep the transmission, because the transmission is mounted in the rear of the car. So that's pretty much what you get. You get the Z51 suspension package, which comes with the red brake calipers, which I always think is very cool, especially on a red car. Black wheels, can't really go wrong. But overall, I mean, it sits a little bit lower than the standard C6 Corvette, C7 Corvette, excuse me, and it rides good. This car does come with the MR suspension, so you can put it in tour mode, sport mode, competition mode. The exhaust, you have the mild to wild. Which was a great option. The MPP exhaust, which is what is on my Camaro. But overall, it was really a good car. So, the moment of truth everybody's been waiting for, and I don't think I can wait any longer. Let's go for a ride. This should be a lot of fun. I haven't driven a convertible StingRay before. I have driven the StingRay before, but this is actually going to be my first time not only driving the convertible, but also driving my favorite part of the car, stick shift. 7-speed main, to be exact. So let's go out and take for a ride.
Purple angels on white clouds, fast girls that don't talk loud, white car, black rims, still on racially profiled.
So basically, as I stated before, this is the 7th generation Corvette StingRay. You know, when they came out with this body style here, it went through a real dramatic change, you know, and it's very controversial. You know, a lot of people weren't on board with the whole redesign thing. GM's chief designer, Ed Wellburn, designed this car, and one of the first gripes that everybody was complaining about was the no longer round taillights, which I liked. I mean, it was pretty good. So these headlights were very controversial, but you know, the whole car was just a dramatic look. I mean, this car really looks like it's more European than American. You know, most of the time when you see a Corvette, you know a Corvette. You know, you just look at it and you're just like, yeah, you know, it's a Corvette. But this car here, I mean, the way they did with the curves, you know, the air vents, you know, you got the vents, air coming through the front vent there, the front dam, going through the hood extractor, coming out the rear, you know, to cool off the transmission cooler. It definitely suits the taste an average Corvette. I mean, it was very very dramatic overhaul with it. You know, when the C6s came out, you know, the C6 was a very good car. That's probably one of my favorite body styles of the Corvette. You know, it just looked probably as close to the classic Corvette as it could, despite the pop-up headlights. You know, a lot of people were complaining about that, but those lenses on the front, you know, it took a lot to get used to, but they turned out to be pretty well, you know, it was pretty good looking. And the only flaw that I had with the C6 was just the interior was just terrible. I mean, the seats, they still suck. You know, you still had the steering wheel out of a Cobalt, you know, and I'm thinking, if I'm paying, you know, 50, 60 grand, you know, I want Alcantara steering wheel, you know, I want a more updated, you know, steering wheel versus, you know, having one that's in every Chevy Cobalt and Cruise as it is. I mean, so I just thought that was just, even on the top models, the Z06s and the ZR1s, they all had the Cobalt steering wheel, which I wasn't a big fan of that. But once they redesigned and came out with the C7, I mean, when I tell you they went through everything, I mean, of course you get the power. You know, you have the LT1, which is still the 6.2 liter as the LS3 it was its predecessor. Car made about 460 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. This is the 7-speed manual, so, and that was something new for the 7th generation, the 7-speed, which they probably could have held that. I prefer the 6-speed. This has the Tremec TR6070 7-speed transmission. It's a little bit different than my Tremec 6-speed, but it still does its business. I mean, it's really it's not bad. I mean, it definitely holds its own. And like I said, with all that power, I mean, this car will basically do 190 miles an hour. I think is its top speed. So it's definitely, I think in the Nürburgring it did probably 7 minutes and I don't know, it's maybe 36 seconds, somewhere around there. Which is pretty good for a stock StingRay. This package is the Z51 package. So you have the red brake calipers. It's a $2,800 option, I believe. So you get the updated suspension, the Z51 suspension, which is basically what a Z51 is. I mean, it's really not just your basic Corvette. I mean, it definitely does have its benefits as far as what that package goes. So this car had a nice short run. I mean, they only built it for roughly 6 years. It came out in 2014 and the last body style is 2019. And for 2020, the C8s come out. And C8 is a drastic overhaul change. You're talking about mid-engine, 500 horsepower. I mean, it's night and day from this car. And this is a very good car. But I think for this generation here, they really just maxed out what they could do with the C7. I mean, they pretty much done all they could do with it. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a very good car for its time. I mean, it was finally, you know, Chevy just finally got it right when it came to, you know, Corvettes. I mean, it wasn't the old American slow sports car anymore. I mean, this car was redefined. I mean, from its interior to the outside, I mean, it was just a very good looking car, and they really did a great job with it. So I was very happy with the upgrades. But the C8, I'm telling you, that's a different animal, man, and it's definitely going to be a head turner for sure. I mean, it's definitely going to do its business. It's reasonably priced, and they're going to, I think the plant had kind of shut down, you know, because of COVID, so they kind of fell behind. I was going to order a Z06. I just wanted to do it up from the jump. You know, that's what I was waiting on. So once I get the clear, for the Z06 to come out. That's the route I'm gonna go. But a base C8, you know, 500 horsepower, it's light, it gets out the box. I mean, it's pretty much a nice ride. So is the C7 one of the best bang for your buck cars that's out here, sports cars that is? I think so. It definitely holds its own. I mean, this is just really a really nice car. Chevy really outdid themselves when they designed the car, and I'm not gonna say I'm surprised at how great it drives, but I just have to give, you know, kudos to Chevy for finally getting it right. I mean, this thing, like I said, Corvettes used to be the laughing stock of American sports cars in general, and now finally, even starting with the C6s, they really upped the ante, and they finally got it right. So, you know, if I do happen to get a C7, probably go Z06 first. Then we'll just up it to the C8. So in conclusion, what do we learn today from this video? We learned that the C7 is very fast for it to be stock. Sounds great. And you can still get in the stick shift. You know, the C8s, there's no more stick shifts. They're all gonna be automatic dual clutches, which is gonna suck. You know, it is fast to drive. I mean, technically that's the fastest way to drive a car, but you know, it's just, it's nothing like just having a stick. It's nothing like changing the gears and controlling your RPMs and going through that torque and just feeling that power. You know, it's just not the same versus an automatic, but I'm sure I get used to it. But I think before I do a C8, I'm definitely going to do a C7 Z06. We'll see. Stay tuned. You know, after driving this thing after a couple of days, it's really an enjoyable car. I mean, this was Chevy outdid themselves when they brought the 7th generation out. Like I said, it was completely revamped from the C6. I mean, the C6, like I said before, C6 was a great car. It was a great looking car. You know, the problem with the C6 is, like I said, the interior was just outdated. The dashboard, the entertainment system, I mean, it was just outdated. The seat still sucked. You know, here you could really tell that Chevy really spent the money on the quality of the interior just alone. I mean, they just really put more attention to detail with the interior. They did an actual great job with it. That's it for this edition of Off-Road. I want to thank my good old buddy Al, Big Al, for calling me the job. And like I said before, this car is for sale. I'll drop all the information below on it if you want to happen to take a look at it. So I'm Jay Walker. You watching Off-Road? Check us out next. I also want to thank Gas Motor Cars for letting me pull the car out. This car is actually about to be sold in a couple days, so I really appreciate them letting me come back and film some last minute stuff that we forgot before. Like I said, this is a new venture we're doing, and we're just getting started, so we'll see you next week.
To make her dance, but them stacks to make her leave home. I know you feel like you wanna come home. I know you liking what you see. I'm gonna make you fall in love and wait till you get home with me.
You know it's going down.
You know it's going down.
You know it's going down. Down, down. You know it's going down. You know it's going down. Down, down. You know it's going down.
My ex-girl at my next show, hate the fact she can't let go. Left for doing this check slow. That love letter, that XO, I'm still throw. Whips in the cribs we pay for. All this shit that we slave for. Made all this shit that we built for. Neighbors moving out next door. Progression shit, that lake shore. Love this life but I'm not sure. Poolside view from the back door. We want more. Patron shots in that strobe light. All these women that I could